Hey everyone, the Crimson Dragon welcomes you. Before we dive into filter maintenance, let's take a moment to appreciate this photo of my first ever Aquascape. Plants are thriving, water's looking clear, but that doesn't happen by itself. A good filtration system is key, and today I'm giving mine its routine maintenance. I like to start early, before the main lights turn on. Less stress for the fish, and for sure, it's kind of nice working in this soft morning glow. Alright, here we go. My BioMaster 250 is sitting in the cabinet. Before touching anything, step one is always preparation. I like to use this big bucket and a tray to make this smooth and mess-free. First things first, power off, unplug, and close the main valve to stop water flow. Now, the hose adapter unit comes off. That I place in a smaller bucket inside the cabinet so it stays out of the way to avoid any drips on the floor and keep things organized. Now we're good to move on. Quick gear check. I got some brushes, sponge, filter floss, peat for water conditioning, and lubricant oil to keep seals in top shape. Yep, having everything ready makes this process way easier. So normally I'll clean the pre-filter module, but since I did that recently, we're skipping it for this time. So instead, I move straight to removing the top cover. This part holds the integrated heater unit, so I make sure to handle it carefully. I place it sideways to keep it safe. With the top off, I can now get into the canister itself. First, I take out the chemical filtration container and set it aside for later. Then I move on to the 3 filtration baskets below, which hold biological and mechanical media. This goes straight into the large bucket, where I will later add some aquarium water so I can clean them properly without damaging the beneficial bacteria. Now, here's a small upgrade I'm making. My old 15D filter sponge was too dense and reduced flow, so I'm switching it out for a 5D sponge instead. I cut it down to size to fit perfectly into the mechanical filtration basket. This should improve flow, reduce clogging, and still trap fine particles effectively. Now, instead of using tap water, I use the leftover water inside the canister to rinse the media. This keeps the beneficial bacteria intact while still getting rid of excess debris. While the filter media is soaking, I take a moment to clean the outside and inside of the canister. Gunk always builds up over time. A sponge is perfect for this. No need to worry about bacteria here since the media holds most of it. Next up, the heart of the filter, the impeller unit. If it gets clogged, flow drops, and that's not good at all. First, I pull off the venting element. Then I turn the pump lid counterclockwise. It's got a bayonet lock so it pops right off. A soap brush helps clear out any debris stuck in there, of course. I give the filter head a quick cleanup. No need to take it apart further, just a soft brush, like a toothbrush in this case, to remove any buildup around the accessible parts. It's a single step that helps keep everything running smoothly. Once it's looking fresh, I reassemble everything in reverse order, making sure it's all seated properly before moving on. I also clean the heater with the same brush. Nice and gentle, just enough to clear off any algae or debris. Alright, now it's time to get the filter media back in shape. That 15D filter sponge is gone, which I will replace with the 5D sponge I prepared. But before that, I cleaned this sponge with aquarium water, of course, to keep that beneficial bacteria intact as much as possible. Once done, both sponges go back in the bottom filtration basket. And here comes the new 5D sponge. Now, onto the biological filtration. I've got 2 filtration baskets filled with a mix of Sicken Matrix and Bag Eheim Substrate Pro. Same deal here. I rinse them in the aquarium water to remove debris while keeping the beneficial bacteria alive. Just a gentle swirl and shake, and once clean, these baskets go back in the canister. And instead of wasting the aquarium water I use for cleaning, I pour it back into the canister. This not only adds water back into the system, but also helps keep more of that good bacteria. Now, chemical filtration. Sicken Purigen has done its job, so it's time to swap it out. And replacing it with a fresh one, I re-conditioned it some time ago. Easy swap, but makes a big difference. Next, Eheim Synced. This one gets replaced completely. This is one of the original sponges that came with the filter. Some new Synced cut out to fit perfectly. Finally, I measure 50 grams of fluval peat and place it next to the Purigen. This not only softens the water, but also releases tannins that create a more natural, amber hue, great for fish and health. Before sealing everything up, I take a moment to remove the canister main rubber sealing ring and apply some lubricant. This keeps the seal in top shape, preventing leaks and making future maintenance way easier. Now, with everything clean, refreshed, and in place, I made sure to stack the filter media in the right order to ensure optimal filtration. First, it was the mechanical sponges for debris removal, then the biological media for beneficial bacteria, and finally the chemical media for fine water polishing. Once our layers are in, I secure the lid, making sure everything is locked down. The canister is now fully serviced and ready to go. Alright, time to bring the filter back home. I carefully place it back inside the cabinet, reconnect the tubing hoses, lock everything in and plug it back in. I give the primer pump a few pushes to get the water flowing again. You don't want to wait too long for this step. Bacteria need that flow to stay alive, so I try to get everything running within an hour. With that done, I top off a little RO water to replace what was lost. And boom, we're all set. The filter is back in action and everything is running as smoothly. At first the water looks a little cloudy, which is totally normal after a deep filter clean. It clears up in a few as the flow stabilizes. And meanwhile, fish and shrimp are already back in doing their thing, roaming, exploring and enjoying the refreshed environment. And that's it, another filter maintenance session done, keeping everything clean and balanced for the long run. Hey, if you found this helpful, drop a like, of course, consider subscribing and let me know in the comments how often you clean your canister filter. Until next time, happy aquascaping!